Hello, my lovely fans, and I know some of you are wondering, why can't you watch the Avatar thing? Well, it's because it got copyrighted by someone. I don't know who, but I don't even know why it got copyrighted. Maybe songs, maybe pictures, maybe some stuff. But why, my guy? Why did you copyright claim it? I just wanted my fans to see what I've been up to. I haven't posted in freaking 2 days. My guy, what the hell? Now, I saw this from someone, his name is this XII What If Stories. Yeah, he basically did what if Deku was Sub-Zero, and I'm gonna copy that, but just saying, please go to this dude's video, what if Deku was Sub-Zero Part 4 or anything else, the thing, please just say that there's a guy making a YouTube video like what if Deku was Sub-Zero, and that he told us to tell you that he's not saying that he made it first, he's saying that you're the one who inspired him to make it. So yeah, just saying, just listen to this again, go to his YouTube channel, comment down on his newest video and say, this kid or this guy, write my name, is making a YouTube video and he's doing a what if Deku was Sub-Zero, and he said that to comment on your thing that he is not saying that he made this first. He's saying that he was inspired by you. He doesn't know if you made it first or not because he doesn't want to get copyrighted. So yeah, or anything, please go show this guy some love. Give him some good comments since he's on his what if Deku was Sub-Zero. Man, that was great. It's only been 7 hours and he got 277 views, man. I mean, you know how much it took me to get 237 views? Frickin' 2 days. I mean, what is going on, my guy? So this is basically what if Deku was Sub-Zero. Disclaimer, this might get copyrighted, but please do not copyright this because I want my friends to see it, and I've mentioned that I am not the first one to make this, so saying that I was inspired to make this, and back to the thing. He's gonna have some personalities like Sub-Zero, just like the dude made Deku, but I'm gonna do some stuff, change some stuff, and this might get copyrighted. Please don't copyright this, please, I'm begging you. But basically, Deku, his father's quirk is not breathing fire, it's actually breathing ice, and his mother's quirk is telekinesis, but a little bit stronger. And today, Todoroki is a female, so yeah. And it is Todoroki X Deku, because why not? This is literally like a total Deku thing. Defying the laws of the gravity. Oh my god, that's gonna get me copyrighted. Okay, but basically, Deku is born with his quirk instantly. So before he was actually brought into the My Hero Academia world, the thing, Inko's belly started to drop down in temperature every time, and then they don't know what it is. So when the baby was born, Inko's stomach start to get better. And the thing, once everyone saw Deku, everyone in the room with Deku was freezing, except for Deku, because the room was freezing. Whenever someone who is very warm even has a fire quirk to warm them up, the fire just burns out and they just freeze a little bit. They just shiver, and then the doctor's just like, why is it so cold in here? And then he just looks at everyone and saying that, who has a ice quirk here? And then everyone says, I don't, we just have fire and healing quirks. And then they look at Deku and then just like, wait a minute. They did a test and they see that Deku has already got his quirk, so that he was born with this quirk, and they list it as mutation or emitter, so it might be both. But yeah, I'm gonna just get back with you for a second. Okay, I'm back, getting some food. So basically, once Deku is born, he has full control of his quirk about when he was a baby. And Inko Midoriya and whoever the dad is, the dad had to leave, so yeah. He got killed by all for one of me. And yeah, Deku has full control. So when he was born, the thing, Inko and Deku's mom and Deku's dad had to teach him how to use his quirk, and he was super smart when he was like 2 years old. He knew how to speak properly. So yeah, once he got, and he's super chill, so he gets the best grades. And yeah, once Deku goes to preschool, he's like, when he walks into the room, the entire room gets cold. And then the teacher announces that they have a new student, and it's Izuku Midoriya. Then Deku's just like, hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and I have a quirk right now. That's why it's getting cold. I have an ice quirk, and I have gotten it at this age, even though the age you're supposed to start developing your quirk and getting more power is when you're 4 or 5. And then everybody's just wondering why Deku can speak proper English. And then Deku, he is top of his class, man. Top of his class. Just like the dude that made the video. He is top of his class. He's chill. He gets a lot of clout, so he's like the most popular kid in school. And yeah, now Deku's a chill person and has a calm thing, but if you mess with him a lot of times, he will knock you. So yeah, what Deku does every time in school, instead of playing with the kids, is read, just like what the dude said. So when he keeps doing that until middle school, nearly at the start of the anime, Baku already gets his thing. He has some buddies. He thinks that he's better than Deku. But Deku is just doing reading and some drawing anime, of course. and drawing some heroes, drawing his hero costume, and I'll just show a picture of Sub-Zero. But yeah. Coolest Sub Zero Sub-Zero costume. Now, what costume will Deku have? Not that. Oh my god, these are all bad, man. They're all bad. This might get copyrighted. Please do not copyright this. So bad. And best. So Deku is just chilling in the room, seeing like no one's there, and just minding his own business. No. Yeah. So I know that this was dead silent, but MK. This right here. This. 3-day 2015. But instead of a hood like that, his hood Scorpion. MK. Yeah, it's like scorpions. Like that hat thing. Yeah, it's like that. And Deku always has his Sub-Zero mask. Sub-Zero mask. Sub-Zero mask. His mask is like basically BLUE blue. So Deku's thing will be no. Deku's thing mask will be like will be like, no. I'll just choose, his mask is basically like, Sub-Zero. His mask is like, Sub-Zero. So his mask looks like, yes, this is what I was trying to find. His mask is like this. So basically, Deku has, after he went to middle school, he's been wearing this mask, so his breath doesn't freeze the entire room. So yeah, that's how how cold Deku's breath is. And yeah, now Bakugo's a little bit pricky, thinking he's better than Deku, so he's been trying to get Deku's attention, not instantly but piece by piece, and Deku has been noticing this, so he's just like, in his mind, okay then, that's what he's trying to do, trying to bully me little bit by little and try and find my weak spot. And Deku just replies every time, please don't do that. And then the next time, before the school ended, one day before, a week before the school ended, Bakugo bumps into Deku's thing, and Deku he's warned Bakugo a lot of times, and this was his final chance. And then he just, once Bakugo bumps into Deku's thing, he makes a little pool of water, and then Bakugo slips, hits his head on the table, and blacks out. He's in the nurse office. He wakes up. He says to the nurse what happened. The nurse told him that he slipped from a small water puddle, and then he's just like, that damn nerd probably did this. And then he just says, he's just like, gets up and says that he's fine, he's just gonna go somewhere. And then but Deku is now a little bit irritated, so yeah, but no one sees it yet. Now the thing, once Bakugo gets out of the thing, he runs to his class, breaks the door with his explosions, charges at Deku, but then Deku just makes a little cage and said to Bakugo that please do not do that. He tells the teacher that Bakugo's trying to attack him with his quirk, and then Deku's just like, I know that using our quirks is illegal if we don't have a license. And then the teacher says like, I know, but why did you use your thing? And then before he says but anything, Deku's just like, I'm only using my quirk for self-defense since he tried to attack me with this quirk. So he said, sorry about your door, I'll fix that later, and for now I'll just uh, I'll just drag Bakugo to the principal's office, or I'll get him to the principal's office. And then the teacher's just like, okay, then. And then Deku reaches the principal's office. They calm the thing down, and then Bakugo gets suspended for 6 days. And the thing, Deku has been getting full marks, man, full marks, and he can. Let's just say he can teleport. So, he has all of Sub-Zero's moves. Like he can make spikes from the ground, makes an ice double, and once he falls into the ice spikes, a clone of him pops up, and then Deku teleports behind the thing, and his real form pops up behind the person, and he can fight them. But then once the person tried to attack the fake clone, the thing, it just blocks him and then punches him, and the thing, yeah. But when the principal said, Bakugo, you're suspended for 6 days, the thing, Bakugo's just like, what? What the hell, man? And then the thing, Deku just says that he's gonna go shopping and then come fix the door. So, yeah. Deku goes shopping, gets some materials to fix the door. The door's fixed properly. Puts the extra materials in the janitor's thing, or the building making thing, and goes to the principal and says he's finished at the door and he's gonna head home. And then the principal's just like, yeah, okay. And then he heads home. The 6 days are over. It's only the last day of school until the 1 year of 1 year of training, if he really has to train. Now Deku, my dude, he has trained from middle school. He has trained from his starting of his middle school all the way to nearly high school now. No, he has been training since he went to preschool. So, man, he has a 12-pack. He did get some scars. He got some scars because he was doing pull-ups on top of a giant tree. He fell down. He got a giant scratch on. He got 2 giant scratches on his back. No, he got 2. He got 1 scratch on his back and 2 X's. Let me just show you. Luffy. Yeah, the X in here. Yeah, that's what basically happened. He got 2 X's on his chest, and it was big. It reaches up to his 6-pack. He has 12 packs, so yeah. But man, is he buff. And the thing, he is chill as hell. He's cool. You see what I did there? Probably didn't see. You probably don't get it, but yeah, moving on. So the last day of school, Bakugo, and then the thing, Deku's just applying to UA just to become a hero, so he has something to do in life, even though he can choose anything to do in life. And then the teacher is just like nearly at the end of the day of the school. The thing is just like, now before this thing ends, before the school day ends, you have to decide on what you're gonna do after this. And then the teacher is just like, just kidding. We all know that you're gonna head to the hero course and become a hero. And then everyone's yelling, screaming, cheering, using their quirks. And then Bakugo's just like, hey, teach, don't put me with these B-listers. I'm the only one who's gonna get into UA. And then, but then the teacher's just like, Bakugo, you're not the only one who's gonna get into UA as well. Actually, it says that Midoriya is going to UA as well. So, good luck. You're not the only person to go into UA. And yeah, the school ends, and then Bakugo just goes up to Deku. Bakugo is pissed, and gets irritated. So Deku is just walking back home because he doesn't feel like teleporting. And he's just walking down the hall until the hall is big, so until 7 people surround him, 8 actually with Bakugo, so 7 of his lackeys and 1 with Bakugo, so 8 people surround him, and Bakugo grabs grabs Deku's bags. He opens it and sees 6 notebooks, and then he says, don't apply to UA or else I'll blow these up. And then Deku's just like, Bakugo, give my notebooks back. And then Bakugo's just like, make me. He blows up all the notebooks, and then Deku is just irritated, and his mask can hold as much power, but once he can weaken it, so once Deku's just using his weak form of his mask, so he's just like, I gave you so much chances, man, Bakugo, and this was your last chance, but you never did it, so it's either I have to fight. It's either give me my notebooks or I'll beat you. Oh. And then Bakugo's just like, and his friends are just like, beat us up? You wish. Now, Bakugo hasn't seen Deku fight, so yeah. And then it's like, oh really? Where do you want to fight? Say the place. I'll meet you. And then Bakugo's just like, okay then. At the schoolyard now. Deku's just like, okay then. He teleports to the schoolyard. And then it's like, well, hurry up. You wanted to fight. They just run over there. And then they're just like, now get ready to be destroyed. He sends now they don't know that Deku has an ice field on the ground, so once they turn into it, yeah. Yeah, so Deku is just like getting prepared. He puts on some what's it? Yeah. Recent but basically he puts on what is it? He puts on no, he's in his regular school clothes, but he has his hoodie on, just like the thing I showed you. And then the thing is, when he turns into his fighting mode, he's just he's white. His eyes are complete white. And then the thing, Bakugo sends one person to play smart to attack Deku, and then the first person's just like, okay then. He rushes at Deku, and then Deku, now imagine this in your head, gets into a fighting form, imagine, so two hands, the right hand is going up, and the bottom hand, wait, let me just do something first. I don't know how to do it, but yeah. Bakugo is just I don't know. But basically, Bakugo is Deku just like just karate punches the first dude who came and sends him flying like half the court, and then not half the court, like just knocks him out, and then Bakugo's just like, all right, he sends two people, and then the two people, they stepped on Deku's ice shield because they didn't notice though, trying to throw a punch, but then they instantly freeze, like flash freeze. The whole body is a statue. They're not dead. Deku is controlling them, so they don't die. Deku can control this. It doesn't even bother him. It doesn't even take that much power, basically. It only takes like 0.00001% power. So, yeah. And Deku, oh my god, Deku is in this thing, so, but once Deku flash freezes the two people, how many people are 7, 3 is taken down, so there's basically 4 left. I mean 5 with 4, but if you add Bakugo, that's 5. And yeah. And someone screams and says that he killed them, and then one girl just runs and then tries to get the teacher, and then the teacher is running to go to Deku. But then the thing, Deku's is like, it's either you give me my 2 notebooks back, or no, my 6 notebooks back, or it will be worse than just getting frozen into ice. And then the thing, one dude's just like, you know what? I'ma just stop. I'ma just get my notebook that I have never used in my freaking life. So here it is. And then Deku's just like, just place it in my hand. Now Deku wasn't gonna attack the first person, so he's just like, okay. He puts it in sand, and then nothing happens, and and then the dude who gave him the notebook just walks away. And then Bakugo's just like, how dare you betray me? And then the thing, Bakugo just sends his friends over, and then the thing, Deku just freezes two people, and then there's just like, Bakugo is trying to make Deku the villain here, and says that he murdered 4 people. He's a villain. He can't go into UA because he murdered 4 people. And then the thing, Deku's just like, murder? Man, what you talking about? You don't even know if they're dead or not. And it's my power, so I can control it. Plus, I've had my entire life with my quirk, so I have full control over it. You can't make me do anything. But this time, Deku is getting literally pissed, and his ice breath is making flakes of snow, and surrounds the entire school. Snow is falling down, and some hail is dropping down a little bit, and then Deku's just like, now it's either give me my notebooks, my other notebooks that I need because you destroyed all of them, or else you'll get 1,000 times more worse than what I said. And then the two is just like, no, I do not want to be with this anymore. And then the thing, Deku is just like, no, just hand them over in my hand. No, he unfreezes. No, the thing, they both hand him the notebooks, and then he looks at Baku and it's just like, now, hand me my last notebook. Then Baku goes just like, I ain't giving you shit. And then Baku goes just like, no, Deku's just like, oh, you just made it so hard upon yourself. The teacher comes just like, Deku, stop using your quirk. You killed 4 students. Stop using your quirk and go to the principal's office, or else I'll call security and get you arrested. And then Deku's just like, I will stop until he gives me my notebooks. And then Baku was just like, I ain't giving crap. And then the thing, the teacher walks up with security already, so he tells the security just to grab Deku, and then Deku's just like, oh my god. The thing, Deku just unfreezes everyone. No, he covers ice to everyone. No, around him and the other people who got covered in ice. Unfreezes them and says, just give me my notebook and I won't attack you anymore. Because that's all you had to do. And then they're just like, okay then. They give them their notebooks and then they say, well, here you go. Deku releases them in an underground tunnel. No, in an ice tunnel. And then make them run away so no one sees them. And then he unfreezes it. And then he makes some little chunks of ice that are there. And then he's just playing around with people. But he is super cool. But then the teacher's just like, you killed them. Now you're really getting arrested. And then Deku's just like, oh, I didn't kill him. Because you must be mistaken. And then, now, everyone in the school sees that Baku is trying to make Deku look like a villain. And so the teacher thinks Deku's a villain. He's going to be a villain. And then he's just like, Bakugo charges at him, and then Deku's just like, oh, you're so stupid. Deku just karate chops Bakugo on his right arm and then on his left arm and then breaks it. And the thing, Bakugo's just like, he's screaming in pain, and then the teacher's just like, see, you killed 4 people and you broke that student's arm. Now you're really getting arrested. And then Deku's just like, I mean, he did deserve it. And plus, I didn't kill the other people. The other 4 people. And then the teacher's just like, well, then why is there ice chunks on the floor, right? And then Deku's just like, oh, those are just ice chunks. It ain't actual body pieces covered with ice. Here, look. He tosses every ice chunk on the floor to the teacher, and then they say that Deku made it so dense to see that no one can see it. And then the principal just comes and says, Bakugo, Deku, come into my office now. No, he says, Deku, come into my office now. And Bakugo is with the security guards telling a fake story. Deku is just like, tells the teacher the story and says, you're lying. You're the one who started it. No, he's like, how? And then the security guard is saying that Deku started it, but then Deku says the story, and then the security guard's like 6/1. It's how much people they see, and then so Izuku Midoriya is at a loss right now. So yeah, and then one student walks in and the door is fully open and says, Bakugo actually started it, and I have proof because everyone in the entire school recorded it. And yeah, plus even the 4 people who got just came back and was like, yeah, Bakugo actually started it, so it's him that started it. And Deku was just doing that just to get his notebooks, and he didn't want to do anything. He just wanted his notebooks. And then the entire school shows the principal the footage, and then the principal's just like, okay then, Bakugo, you are having since you've been doing so bad with your grades and your schoolwork, you are not going to be training for the rest of the year until UA exam. So you are getting homeschooled, and you will and tests will be brought to you from the school, so you can get better grades. Now Deku is pissed off that he just 1% of his grade has dropped down, and then he's just like, he's irritated that his perfect score streak is ruined by Bakugo. And then he's just like, damn it, in his mind, that freaking dude. And then he walks home, and then while he walks home, he makes a trail of ice, and then Hero Stuff is like, you can't use your eyes like that. And then Deku's just like, I can't control my eyes, so yeah, it will be following me every time I walk. And then the hero's just like, oh, okay. And then once he gets under a tunnel where no one sees them, Deku just unfreezes the ice, turns it into water, nothing happens. And then under the bridge, the entire bridge turns to ice, even the floor surrounding it. And then the sludge villain is like pops up, and the thing, Deku is in his deep in his thoughts right now, so he doesn't notice, but he does put an ice field every time. So he's just like, oh my god. He's just like, you're so stupid. You tried to attack me. And the sludge villain is like, how? How did you know I was there? And then Deku's just like, well, my ice field, of course. And then your ice field? Where? I don't even see it. And then Deku's just pointing at the ground, saying that, oh, okay. And then he just freezes the entire thing. Freezes the entire sludge villain since he tried to attack him again. Compresses him into a ball. All Might shows up like, have no fear because I am here. And then he's just like, what? Did you do this, kid? Deku's just like, oh, it's All Might. Hi. Can I please shake your hand and get your autograph? And then the thing was it All Might's just like, oh, okay then. But where's the sludge villain? And then Deku's just like, oh, it's in this round bulb that I made, so it can't escape, but it stays in there for 5 hours or so. So just let the police know about this. And then Deku's just like, and then All Might's just like, oh, that's pretty handy. So you got an ice quirk, yeah? And then Deku's just like, yeah, I was born with my ice quirk, so once I was born, I already had my ice quirk. And then All Might's just like, wait, what? So your thing is a mutation quirk? And then Deku's just like, well, it's kind of a mutation-ish and emitter-ish, so half mutation, half emitter. Maybe it's both. And then Deku's just like, well, that's all. And then was it was it oh my god. Then All Might just talks to him a little bit, and then he says he's gotta go, but then he turns into his small All Might form, and Deku's just like, before All Might could say anything, Deku's just like, you got a giant wound from that 5 years ago, and you're losing power. And then Deku's just like, no. And then All Might's just like, yes, how did you know? Deku's just like, well, I could sense that your power's draining a little bit, so yeah. But before we say anything, let me just fix a little gene in your body. Since blood is a type of water, he can do anything with it. And then he fixes some lines of All Might's small All Might form. And the thing, Deku's just like, so you last for about 3 hours every day. Now, when I fix your genes a little bit, you can last about 10 hours a day. So you're welcome. And then All Might's just like, thank you. And then he gives a thing, but before Deku could walk away, All Might's just like, hey, you're actually pretty strong. Now, just lift up your shirt for a second to see what your body looks like for a second. And then Deku's just like, okay. He lifts up his shirt. All Might just sees 2 scars on Deku's chest and 1 giant scar on Deku's back, and sees that Deku is very muscular and has 12 pecs, and says, wow, you actually have the right body and you're the best candidate for One for All. Deku is like, wait, what's one for all? Almost is like, well, my quirk is called one for all. I can pass it down to generations, and you're gonna be the 7th, I think the 8th or the 7th, I don't know, generations, and you will unlock your own power of the quirk. So your quirk will be combined with the thing. You can pass it down, DNA, but for now, yeah, Deku, what was it? Deku, no, almost is like, just saying, just eat in order to get my hair, in order to get my DNA and power, just eat my hair since it's less awkward. I don't want to share blood or anything else. It's the only way I can do it right now, so yeah. And then Deku's just like, okay then. He eats it, it digests so quick, and then it's like, now, try and use it so just to see if it digested or not. And then Deku is like, okay, so you're saying it's a quirk, right? And Deku's just like, okay then. He makes it flow through his body, and then he uses it everywhere. He's using full cowling right now. He uses his finger. No, he uses a punch. It doesn't break his arm. It just tingles a little bit. Then Deku's just like, wow, that's cool. That kind of tickled. And then Almost just like, what? And then Deku's just like, now, I know how much percentage, but I could grow it even stronger, like 1,000%. I can already use it up to 100%. Now, if I train more, I can get it up to 1,000%. I can go over, but then it will start getting a little bit painful, like a mosquito. Start from ticklish, from 1,000 is nothing, and then it goes up, ticklish, a little bit painful from a mosquito, up, all the way to me breaking my arm. So 1,000,000% would just be a mosquito bite. Then Almost just like, what? You are the best candidate. And then the thing, Deku is just like, they exchange numbers. Deku doesn't really need training. And then the thing, Katsuki's, Bakugo's mom calls Inko's like, your son broke my son's arm. He started the thing. And then Inko's just like, how did my son break his arm when your son is very cocky, he has bad grades, and tried to bully my son? Plus, he even burnt the thing, Izuku Midoriya's, his son's notebooks, and he started it all, and he got the best grades. So how? And he's better at Bakugo than everything. He's the best at everything. Then how could he start a fight when Bakugo is the one who's jealous because he is weaker than Deku? And then before Bakugo's mom could say anything, Inko just hangs up, and then the thing, Deku's just in the living room saying, well, you took care of that too good. And then Inko's just like, I know. I'm just doing my job. Deku's just like, well, you're doing too good for your job. This might be too good. So, but basically, Deku now, he trains his one for all with his body, so he's up to, like, one day he can get up to 1,000%. Now he goes up 360 days, 65 days. Once he gets 1,000%, his power boost, so he gets up to 1,000,000%, but he likes to not show off his power until the sports event. But then the thing, Deku is just, it's the thing time entrance exam. Deku has an ice field around him, and then the thing, Deku trips, but then he uses his ice to catch himself, and then Ida just sees him using his quirk. So he walks up to Deku. He's like, "You do realize this is a no quirk school. You're on school grind, and you're not allowed to use a quirk." Then Deku's just like, "I was about to fall and hit the ground, so I had to use my quirk to catch myself." Then the thing, Ida's just like, "Well, you're not allowed to use your quirk, and you have to have a hero's license to use your quirk outside of school or inside school." Now Deku is getting a little bit pissed because of the thing, and then now Ida is tight when Deku said that he had to catch himself using his quirk. So yeah, Ida is like tight with him, not that tight though. I'm just using the words the person who made this that inspired me use. So yeah. And then Deku is like, "Well, now I'm gonna go." And then Deku's just like, "Okay then." Deku wants into the room. The room gets cold. Like everyone has shivers, and then the thing, they see Deku walking in, is like, "It's not him, maybe someone else." Deku just sits down, and then Bakugo comes in. When Deku sees Bakugo, the room gets even colder, and he looks at Bakugo's like, "Do you still have that notebook that I need?" And then Bakugo's just like, "Shut up, nerd." And then the thing, the room gets colder. Bakugo is letting out explosions, but no one can hear it. Ida looks around, seeing the commotion, and then sees that Bakugo and Deku are using their crooks, and then walks up to them and says, "Excuse me, you're not allowed to use your crook, and you, I already told you, you're not allowed to use your crooks on school grounds." Deku's just like, "Shut up. You're not part of this. Stay out of our business. Now sit down, Mr. Smarty Pants. Except that I'm smarter than you. And do your 4 eyes work before I knock you out." And then the thing, President Mike sees this, is like, F this. I don't get paid enough. He keeps explaining until the end. They do their written exam, and then he's just like, Deku finishes in 3 minutes. No, Deku finishes like 3 minutes, bam, and then he just walks outside, gets to the changing room, just puts on his mask and some just puts on a running clothes. So Deku is just in is in these clothes. Right now, it's showing his 12 pack. You can't see his 12 pack, or you can only see his arm muscles. And then I think now everyone just comes out, and then Raka sees that Deku's just behind, and then Deku has his force field activated. Ice field activated a little bit, and then Uraka just taps Deku on the shoulder with her finger, and then frost started coming up her thing, and then she just flicks it, and then Deku's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry for that. I thought it was that Four Eyes." Then Deku, and then Uraka's just like, "No." And then Deku turns the thing into water and says, "Hi, my name's Izuku Midoriya. What's yours?" And then Uraka says, "My name's Uraka Ochako. Nice to meet you." They just talk around, and then the thing goes up to the front, and now Ira sees that Deku's using his quirk again, and then Ira tries to put his hand on Deku, but then Deku sees it and then the thing freezes Ira's entire arm, and then Deku says, "I told you, just stop messing with me. Wouldn't even be in this mess right now if you didn't mess with me." Then Ira's just like, "You're not allowed to use your quirk before the exam." And then Deku's just like, "Well, you're not allowed to touch people without their permission. So yeah, F off." Unfreezes and when Ida's arm got frozen, he yelled in pain, and everyone heard it. They looked at him, and then they saw the conversation. Deku unfreezes the thing, and then he walks up to the front, and Deku sees that he's next to Uraka, and then he says, "Well, hi. Nice to meet you then." And then Uraka's just like, "Oh, hi." Deku, Max is like, "Okay then. 3, 2, 1, go." Deku just instantly teleports into the middle, turns the entire stadium to ice, and then blows up like half of the entire robots. And then the thing just like, no, not that. He just freezes the thing. He gets some ice spikes. He just dashes. He gets some ice spikes, and he knows that cameras are there. Gets some ice spikes and throws it at them, and it automatically throws now. And then Deku gets a ice sword, and he's trying to show off to the people so he can get accepted into UA. And then Deku just shows everyone his power, not his true power though. He doesn't want to summon a freaking real dragon or ice dragon. And then he's just like, and then everyone didn't. Oh, my sister's like, there he goes, my successor. And then he just smiles wider than he has ever smiled. And then the thing, Niz is like, "Do you know this kid?" And then Almost is like, "Yeah, I met him while I was chasing the sludge villain, and he's my successor right now." And then Deku, and then when they say successor, Almost is like, "Look at the screen, and look what's around him and around the spikes and swords and ground." And then they look at it properly, and they see that green lightning are surrounding the sword, the spikes, and the ground, just surrounding him, and it's coming off everywhere. Deku just shows everything, And then he racked up enough points. He's just resting. And then everyone just dashes back to the entrance, not reaching it yet. And then Deku's just like, he looks around, he sees the 0 points, like, that's just a waste of my time. He was about to turn when he heard a scream, and then he looks around. He sees that Uraka is trapped, and then Deku's just like, oh no you don't. But Uraka is literally just screaming, not for help from anyone, but for help from Deku. It's like, hey you, I know you can save me, just save me now and we have no problem. Deku's just like, she's asking me to save her. Okay then. Deku just saves her, and then the thing, they just walk back. I'm so tired. I'm gonna get a mic soon, so yeah. Hope my voice sounds better when I get a mic. And yeah, Deku is now, it's the thing, they get the thing, All Might pops out, same thing happens, but no giving points thing. Deku gets some rescue points, and the thing, and then, so they're basically in school, and then the thing, now Deku's pretty late because he was very tired. He was very tired. He was a bit tired. Didn't have food. So yeah. Deku comes late, and the thing, once he goes into the thing, he just feels everyone's power, but it wasn't even that big. But he feels some ice coming off from someone. He looks around, he sees Todoroki, and then says, oh, so that's where the ice is coming from in his mind. And it looks like it's reacting by itself. Maybe I can help with that later. And then thing, yeah. When Deku comes in, now once Deku comes in, Ida and Bakugo are staring at Deku and shooting daggers at him, and Bakugo and Ida notices this, and they're like buddies because they hate Deku now a little bit. And then Deku sees that and is like, well, got 2 people to deal with in this school. And then Deku's is like, okay. He sits down next to Todoroki for some reason. I don't know. Just sits down next to Todoroki. And now Deku's like 6'6". I don't know. What height do you want him to be? And everyone's shorter than him, so yeah. Because Deku is a beast. He is already Sub-Zero this one now. And yeah. Once he sits down, he tells everyone to be quiet because the teacher's preparing, getting ready right now. And then once that happens, Aizawa wakes up, tells everyone to, and then says that they will all be quiet, and he looks at Deku's like, you cool though. And then he says, now everyone get into your UA uniforms, who are having a croc test, and whoever gets last is expelled. It's gonna be expelled. Everyone's just like, what? Todoroki's not even doing anything. And then Deku is like, okay then, in his mind, he just walks out the door. He just opens the door and walks out. Then Deku's just like, and then Aizawa sees that and says, you guys should be like that kid. It doesn't even matter. It just goes and do what the teacher says. Now hurry up if you don't want to get expelled. Everyone's just like, fine. And then now everyone has beef with Deku since Deku thinks that he's better than everyone, even though he is. Now Deku is. I'm so tired. I don't know what to think. I need scripts, but I'm not gonna use scripts because I'm dumb. What was that? Let me check. But basically, Deku is. Is falling right now. But basically, Deku is in his UN uniform, and while he's changing, Kirishima's just like, dude, do you have a muscle augmentation quirk? And then Deku's just like, what do you mean? Kirishima's just like, just look at your muscles, man. And then Deku's just like, yeah, what about them? Kirishima's just like, well, do you have a muscle quirk? And then Deku's just like, no. What's wrong with my muscles? Kirishima's just like, well, nothing, but just saying, you have a 12-pack. And you have two scars on your, two giant scars on your chest and one giant-ass scar at the back, on your back. Are you okay? Then Deku's just like, yeah, it's just pure training. I mean, what's wrong with it? Kirishima's like, nothing. Just saying that you're ripped as hell. Deku's just like, thank you. And I think Deku now what was it? They get changed. Deku's the first one to come out. Aizawa's just like, well, since you're the first one and I want to get this over with, just throw this ball and see how far you get it. And then Deku's just like, okay, stand in cricket form, stands in baseball or cricket form, and just pitches it through the earth and breaks the thing. And the thing made the how the meter or the how long the ball went, just twitches it and says error, and they think Deku got first infinite, so they just counted infinite or error, and then Deku's just like, okay, then I might have went overboard, but who cares? And the thing, everyone goes over the thing. Now Deku dominates everyone. Just dominates him. And then everyone's just like, okay, then I am not gonna mess with that dude. And once the thing was over, once Deku's turn and Todoroki's turn and everyone's turn except for some other students' turn, Todoroki just walks up to Deku and is like, so you have an ice quirk, eh? And then Deku's just like, yeah. And you must have an ice quirk and a fire quirk. From the way you look right now, since you have a burned face, that means it's part of fire since it's burnt. That's what fire is. And your hair is red and white, so yeah. And you must be Endeavor's daughter, Shoto Todoroki. Don't ask me how I know your name, because news, internet man. Yeah. So your dad is abusive. He tells you to train every time, because he says he's your master creation. Your mom's in the mental hospital because she got a mental breakdown, and your father caused it, and the effect was you getting that scar, and how did you get it? Well, from your mother and that freaking thing, that heater thing. I don't know what it's called. I'll just call it a kettle. A kettle. And then Todoroki's just like, well, damn. You just know my entire backstory. Deku's just like, I mean, I do know more, do you understand? And then Deku's just like, no. And then Todoroki's just like, no. No. They're just talking, and Uraka sees that Deku is talking with Todoroki and gets a little bit pissed, gets a little bit jealous, because she thinks Deku likes Todoroki, and then she just walks up to them and is like, hey guys, what you talking about? Deku's just like, nothing really. Now, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna post a new video tomorrow, and goodbye. Like and subscribe, and just saying, it's very cold in my room. I'm getting shivers, and please, just for the love of God, do not copyright my video. I am only inspired to make this from this freaking dude. Not freaking dude, because of this lovely dude. He swears in his videos, but hey, at least he does it cool. So don't get me copyrighted. I just want my fans to see this. Bye. Yeah.